morning we are joined by tech expert Dan Thompson. He's going to show us some smartwatches that might be some great gift ideas for the tech lover on your list. And
that's right.
You know, you've talked to us about, you said wearables are basically broken down into two categories,
yes.
Fitness and the smartwatches.
That's right, yeah. So fitness trackers, which we talked about last hour, and then the smartwatches, which can also be fitness trackers, but generally do more things. So just to kind of get us right out of the gate here, I have 3 different smartwatches with me today, so you can kind of see sort of what they look like. Some of them, you know, kind of maybe look a little geeky. Some of them kind of have a little bit more stylish look to them.
I kind of like that one right there in the middle, just strictly from looks only.
And here, I'll let you hold them so you can kind of see the differences. But so essentially what the smartwatches do is it's sort of a notification area for your phone. So almost all of them have to have a phone associated with it, at least somehow. But what happens is so not only does it give you the time, so if I pull this one up, you can kind of see that it has, you know, a clock face on it. It's kind of interesting. You can change the faces out.
7:14 right now. That's easy to read.
Yeah, and you can change those faces out if you want to get like a custom, or if you want it to look kind of more like a Rolex, or you know, whatever. You can do that sort of thing. But then it gives you notifications. So like if I got an email, it would pop up and say you got an email. Interestingly enough, if I get a phone call, it vibrates and tells me that I have a phone call, and then I can answer it from the watch.
Can you talk to the watch? Like when you say you answer it,
I can accept the call. So you know, like how on your Android you have to like slide it over to one side or the other to answer the call. I can do that from the phone, and then if I have Bluetooth or something like that, I can then just begin speaking without having to fetch my phone out of my pocket and that sort of thing. So basically it just adds an interface, so to speak, to your phone. Now, some people don't find that necessarily useful.
Yeah, you can't actually see the email. You just know you have one.
Well, you can see like the notification. You can read part of the email, and then depending on which one you go with, you can actually then open the email on your phone. So like this one will say, you know, you can read through the first several lines of the email, and it just says open on phone. You can click that, pull your phone out, and then that's the very first thing you'll see. Now, one of the interesting things that people need to know about the smartwatches is there's a good number of them that are only compatible with the manufacturer's phone. So as an example, the Galaxy Gear, which is this guy right here, it is only compatible with the Galaxy phones.
Okay, we're looking at that right now. Is that the one on the screen, Dan?
Yes, yes, so that's a Galaxy. So it is only compatible with a Galaxy phone. Apple's watch that will be coming out next year, I'm imagining is going to be kind of have the same boundaries. You have to have an Apple phone, like an iPhone or whatever, to actually take advantage of the watch. This one that I have in my hand is the Moto 360. This is from Motorola. This one actually works with all Android phones as long as you're running at least 4.3, version 4.3. So there are these little caveats that you kind of have to be aware of.
Make sure you know that.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Let's talk price. I mean, what is a price range for these?
Well, so they're kind of all over the board. It's about as much as you want to spend. So this is the Sony watch. This is actually just called the Sony smartwatch. This you can get for around $100. Not quite as useful as maybe some of the other ones, and you can tell from the build quality, maybe not quite as sturdy, but you know, this is a good entry-level one, and then they go from there. So some of these are $250, some of them are more.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, they get quite expensive. The Apple Watch kind of rumored to be kind of on the higher end of that scale as well. So you know, it is an investment, but when you look at watches, people who collect watches generally are okay with paying that sort of amount, but what's interesting is people are saying, well, but are these like a collector kind of watch, or are the value just going to fall out of the floor basically in a couple of years?
Technology does kind of.
Typically does. That's exactly right. The other thing about the smartwatches is the battery life. So typically, I mean, when was the last time you changed a watch battery? Like, I can't even remember the last time I had to change a watch battery. Well, these you have to charge every day. So it's like one of those things when you get home at night, you just kind of have to get used to putting it on the charger. So just, you know, there's a few nuances that maybe people that you're used to a traditional watch that you might not be ready for necessarily with the smartwatches, things you just want to be aware of before you buy.
Yeah, make sure that the person that you're buying for would actually find this useful.
Yes, yeah, and actually it's funny, a friend of mine was just given one of the Galaxy Gears, and he doesn't have a Galaxy phone, so he was like on social media yesterday going, hey, does anybody have a Galaxy phone they'll sell me?
Oh my goodness,
yeah, so it's just one of those things you just need to know ahead of time.
Do a little research. Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's really, really interesting. Well, you're watching Mornings with Fox 43. We're coming back after this. It's 7:18.
More than a